Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Part 11. In the previous video we began to put the screws to producer Vasquez. We are about to reveal that she is indeed a murderess. Well, maybe not about to, it'll probably still take some time, but we're getting there. And it's time to see if Phoenix Wright can continue. Can we continue to let him talk his shit again? No need. Smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. Wait, that's it? I wouldn't have ended the video if I knew. I still thought there was like at least 30 more minutes left. So, what happens next? Don't question mark me. Don't question mark lol. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean Dee Vasquez, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, maybe you did it. We just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. Okay. I was gonna be a little annoyed if if the trial ended that suddenly. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? Order. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly it does seem very likely she did it, but, there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Testify again? I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Don't want to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. To come so far only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Ms. Vasquez. Oh, edgy boy, what are we doing here? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. I see, very well. That's fucking fantastic. Your Honor, I requested the witness testify again. You're the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want us to testify about? Well... Indeed, verily I shall say, ergo, to Vasquez? I wanted to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, how did Edgeworth... Who knows? I mean, I guess if he thinks she's guilty, then... He probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? Well, I mean, technically that's not true because he lost last time. I mean, there was a guilty verdict, just not on our client. So, I mean, he's already lost his 100% win rate or whatever. So, may as well, have a bit of morals now? After all that, Edgeworth. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too. Only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. Security lady Oldbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. And smoked a doobie, you know? I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination? Okay, Nip, we're close, real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Okay. Hold it! What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. We'll back off for now. We can always return. I better leave this one be. I'm sure she sees there's anything out to throw at her anyway. Hey, only Powers was absent. Mr. Powers is taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember? You know, the 25th of November? Or 25th of September? You know the song. I think it's September. There were dead body line in front of us. Did you expect me to be calm? He certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. We'll back off again for now. I'll hold off. She'd just blow away anything. I mean, we'll go through everything and then we'll revisit the most suspicious statement. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then silence. Dead silence. It's dead silence. Silence. Hey, Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? It's called, theming, Maya. Read a book, why don't you? Someone should do something to lighten things up. If only we had the ultimate juggler here. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. Oldbag, the security lady? Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? Picture. She said because she saw him going towards the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. That's fine for now. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else is questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. You can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Yes, I can. I have money. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting. There was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? Must have been a lot riding on this with all those bigwigs at the meeting. Sure, her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Like I said, we'll do our due diligence. Hold back for now. That one's... I feel like we could press more there. So you weren't questioned? That's correct. I find these things distasteful. We'll see what he says after we go through it the first time. You have to find something to peg this on, or everything else we've done will be wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Okay, so I want to go do second to last. Okay, well, we can't do that one. Then this one, yeah. Get pressed. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and your notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? It was a murder, after all. That doesn't make any logical sense. Who could think of rehearsing after that? What? No, that doesn't make any sense. What? Yeah. Edgeworth! What the hell? Thank you, buddy. I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Haha, you're not the only one with a boombox, Mr. Wright. Think. Ms. Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal? Don't you see what that means? You would have had to have known about the murder before going to Studio One. Thank you, Miley. Order! Mr. Edgeworth. What have you just said? Is a reasonable observation. Also, I mean, like, I appreciate your help, Edgeworth, but, like, couldn't you, like, not acting in her best interest be... I guess you're not her defense lawyer? I don't know how that would legally work. Because, I mean, I know, you know, theoretically you can get, like, a mistrial if your defense attorney is, like, so incompetent. Or, you know, it can be grounds for a mistrial. Won't necessarily always happen, but... How, like, if, you know, they're sabotaging the case, so to speak. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I'll stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Mr. Vasquez, or Miss Vasquez. Sorry, no offense. Do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. Maybe she's gonna say that he was hurt, but she wouldn't know that. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg this on her. Or everything we've done up to now would have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. Okay, you were with Sal. I mean, there's nothing we have that would... What was the second most suspicious thing? You know, let's go back to the Sal thing, since that seems to be like, maybe has relation to that other thing, so let's press her here. About 10 minutes before. Let's press. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh. What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try and listen to what people are saying, boy. Boy? The witness will continue her testimony. Taking a nap. Get pressed. Wait a second, wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around. You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps, but no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. Bullshit, have you seen the man? He's the Wolfman come to life. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vasquez, you may continue. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. Silent, completely silent. And then they do the silence thing. Hey, so it seems like there's no penalties for pressing the wrong thing, so I guess we should just have been pressing... I didn't want to, like, press... Like, I didn't know if we get penalized for pressing at the wrong statement, so that's why I was holding back earlier. Perhaps not. Seems to have given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard this all after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. He's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. And then we tried to press that. We pressed that. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal, she told me. Sal, the director. Nothing's really... Okay. We pressed that. Oh, yeah, I'm going backwards. Has to be. Let's try this again. I remember that. Can't just decide. The studio thinks otherwise. There wasn't an opportunity to press there. Then we already pressed this. Scripting your direction notes. No, I guess not. We already pressed there, so. You knew that Hammer was injured. Knew that Hammer was injured. Just trying to think. So I mean, like, we have to find some way to prove that Sal couldn't have told her. But I don't know how. Was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Let's read this one more time. Sal the director. You have to find something to peg this on her here. Nothing's really jumping out at me. We did the time. 5. When did they arrive at the studio? 10 minutes before. Wasn't stuffing any bodies in costumes. Press harder again. They weren't there yet. So how do we know you couldn't have done it? I mean, you just said you... I mean, that's not a defense. Just saying I didn't do it. Like, that doesn't seem like a very good defense. Maybe... Huh. I don't know. I feel like this should be easier. Pierced through the chest by a spear. We found the body. The assistant was there. Powers was absent. Taking a nap, so he claims. Certainly seemed calm enough. Then we pressed, and then you said the thing about no one was thinking logically. When you'd only go looking for the missing person. I have to agree with the defense on this one. Logically speaking, perhaps. No one there was speaking very logically. Also, without a steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. 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 If no one noticed that he was missing, then... Because the old lady was like, oh, Powers did it. So, I mean, she should have noticed that he was this is super shaky. But, I mean, like, maybe we could use the photo to prove that the old lady was, like suspected Powers? It's so tenuous that I don't know if the game is like... Is that what they want? And then they did the silence. Security lady saying Powers did it. Did the detective? Perhaps not. She seemed to have also given the detective to that photograph. I heard this all after the fact. Heard that all after the fact. Has to be left out, and there was nothing to press here, right? Can't just decide. I mean, I feel like this should be way more obvious than it is, but like, I don't want to mess up. Covered for you, or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot riding on this with all these bigwigs at the meetings. Her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. Her professionals. I got no clue, man. Like, I honestly have, like, no idea in the slightest. I feel like it has something to do with this prompt, but I don't know what proves that Sal couldn't have told her that. I mean, let's try and remember Sal's testimony. He was there. He saw they were injured. I got no clue, man. Use the van after meeting in the trailer. Do this whole song and dance again one more time. They're quite valuable. I wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Press harder. Wait a second. Okay, you came for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your scripts and notes? Well, I was under the impression we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder. Okay, so they do this whole thing again. Your Honor, I have an objection. She would have had to know. It's a reasonable observation. I just don't know how to prove that. Couldn't have talked to Sal. You have an explanation. I can't believe he's helping me. No matter. And then she adds this. It makes no sense, but something about it just pops in my head. You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. Wait. Oh, she did say she knew Hammer was injured. Okay, I didn't even notice that. It was Will Powers. That was so obvious, and I was not reading the name. I was not paying attention. That's man. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Because, like, in my head, like, the whole thing was, like, I could see the idea that the reason she knew that he was injured was actually because she saw the Steel Samurai costume. Like, when he showed up, right, his leg would have been... Well, no, I don't know, man. Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. Or he was dragging his leg so that people would think he was Powers, right? But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? So that was, like, mostly by complete accident. That was just like I just had a feeling. Like I knew that may have been residual knowledge kicking in. I don't know. I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manel was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez, you saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah! And when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume. and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. How do you like them apples? Order, order, I'll have order. How many times do I have to say that? But, you know, like, and they're writing the script, they just had that line fucking copy-pasted. Like, oh, it's time for the order line again, put that in. Control V. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Getting tag teamed by the Miley Phoenix crew. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there's a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on this matter? I mean, motive didn't seem to matter in the previous case when you accused Mia of having, or Maya of having killed Mia. Like, motive was never brought up a single time. Shut up, Phoenix! Motive only matters when I say it matters. Can you prove? I mean, honestly, no. But I feel like I have to say yes. Okay. I have proof and I'll show it to you. The motive. The motive. Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe the photo? I don't know. Honestly, I mean, let's think about it for a second. Okay, I've thought it's probably our attorney's badge. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in the murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Dee Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, Dee Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yeah, undoubtedly was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Dee Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yeah, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain. I mean, it was honestly maybe an accident. Do we have any evidence? I don't think we have any evidence. I think it was just that he fucking fell and got murdered and, or like killed him, like not killed himself, but you know. I mean, at most it could be like a manslaughter or like self-defense. I don't know. I mean, I can't think of any evidence. I mean, let's at least take a look. I mean, honestly, I think it's that she had no motive. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. Ooh. What? What? Your Honor. Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. Dude, look at that repetition, man. That's classic closing argument right there. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Okay. Where does that leave us? I mean, at the very least, I mean, I guess we don't actually... Like, if she's not guilty, that's kind of fine with us. We're just trying to prove Powers didn't do it. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. But I mean, if it actually is self-defense, then I mean, at worst, you could get, like, involuntary manslaughter, I would think. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ms. Vasquez! What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Ms. Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No. How could this... It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No. Manuel! Don't touch him, Ms. Vasquez. No! Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again. Yo, I said we had 30 minutes ago. Right on the money, baby. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Dee Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Shut up. Yeah, you're right. We would never convict an innocent man. Come on, our justice system is perfect. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Dude, that's Poggy Woggy right there. Yo, we didn't mess up at all in the final trial, I don't think. Granted, it was a lot more forgiving, like... I mean, I guess we messed up a couple times, so they weren't penalized mess-ups. That is all. The court is adjourned. Granted, getting the photo right was, like, basically just pure luck. / maybe some secret activated memories from originally playing this game? I don't know. It's hard to tell how much of it is, like, actually just, like, intuition and just how much of it is hidden memories. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know that now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think he tried to frame me for the murder, it makes me sad. Tell me, why, Mr. Wright? Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Do we have any evidence? This is what I think. I wanted to put the blame on you because... people loved him? It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids show, and as a villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP! Oh, thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. Ooh, is anybody gonna tell him that his show's canceled? And he's homeless? I can't wait to get back in that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. You're not unemployed. Nick, Edgeworth. How's it going, Miley buddy? Say something right. I'm not good at small talk. Huh? Have you ever seen a real-life attorney's badge? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I mean, I really want to thank you. That was pretty cool, though, when we did that whole, like, back and forth shit on her. We were, like, tag teaming her. Oh, man, that was sweet. I don't mean it, like, in a sexual way. Pretend I didn't say that, Miley. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. But, I mean, like, realistically, like, she didn't technically commit a crime. I mean, like, I think you could maybe get involuntary manslaughter if you could, like, prove that she pushed him with the intention of killing him. Like, if she didn't have to do anything. But I mean, if he was actually coming at her to kill her, then, you know, her pushing him onto the spike, I mean, there's not really a crime there. Granted, you could probably get her, though, for the covering up the previous accident. Maybe. I don't know. I'm pleased to meet you. I'm, Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Really? Liar. He's just such a big fan of your music and your acting. Right? I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better if we had not met. Thanks to you, I'm saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Whenever I look at you, I just feel all funny and I get hot and bothered under the collar. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix, right? Don't ever show your face in front of me again, but you always show up to my trial. That's what I came here to tell you. Don't worry, you'll come around, buddy. Mr. Wright, was that guy your friend? I don't know. What, friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? Yeah, dude, we're gonna beat him up with our Squirtle. For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Don't worry, it'll be revealed later, or maybe... Come on, Nick, tell me, what's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Oh, it's the Pink Princess. Nick! This is it! The new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right? Nope. I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant? Fine, fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. Do we get like a chunk of all of his royalties as a residuals since he didn't, like, did he pay us? I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Ay. Okay, well, let's, we'll go ahead and start the next chapter and see, like, a little opening scene, but then we'll cut things off. So I'm not entirely sure if I ever beat this chapter. It's been, what, 15 years? About that, yes. 15 years is a long time to wait. Can't imagine how much I've suffered. You've suffered? But now, perfect opportunity has presented itself. At last, I shall have my revenge. What? Merry Christmas. Oh, Edgeworth, buddy. We're not supposed to shoot people. Okay, so it's like a month later. All right, that's a good place to stop. You know, I don't know. I know I maybe beat this chapter, but I never did the 5th chapter, which was apparently the 5th chapter was added in just the DS version. Like, I never played the original Game Boy version. I played it on the like a DS emulator, like probably like 6 years ago, I think. And so I think maybe I did finish this chapter, and then I never did the 5th chapter that was added. I don't know if it like connects to the story in any way. I don't really remember, but because this is supposed to be like the original ending of the game, so it's definitely a lot shorter than I remembered. So, you know, this is only like part 11, right? And we're already on like what was originally the final chapter, so yeah. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part, and bye, guys.